That's right, everybody. It Chapter 2 and Mama director Andy Muschietti has been announced to direct or helm an Attack on Titan live-action film. So if you don't know what Attack on Titan is an anime, practically the Walking Dead version of an anime. It revolves around the human race pretty much surviving against these giant humanoid beings who devour people, who want to destroy civilizations. They are called Titans, and the human race is trying to fight against them. It's one of the more popular animes today. It's phenomenal. I love the show. It's so suspenseful. Really, if you have not seen it, you got to check it out. And I'm aware that the Japanese have actually made a live-action version of Attack on Titan, and I'm sure it's probably really good because they know how to handle their property probably the best, right? But that brings us down to Andy Muschietti, and if he is probably the best director for this position. And, you know, I was sitting here thinking about it, and though I didn't love It Chapter 2, and I don't love Mama, I looked at It Chapter 1 and some aspects of It Chapter 2, and, you know what, some aspects of Mama, and I'm like, you know what? This guy does know how to handle a property. He knows the respect that a property is due. Like, It was a big property. Like, everybody knows what It is. And to see Andy Muschietti, someone who only done one horror movie, to get this big-ass project was really overwhelming for me. I didn't know what he was going to do, but then I loved It Chapter 1. I thought it was a fantastic coming-of-age story about a crazy killer clown, right? I don't know whether or not I would want Andy Muschietti to actually do an Attack on Titan film franchise, but I would love for him to do the first film in the franchise, because I do think that Andy Muschietti, he has to be a fan of something. I know for a fact that when he did It, he was a fan of the property. He had so much respect for Stephen King, and he just loved the property. He loved the book. So, yeah, that made sense to me. I'm glad that a fan directed that film, because it was a very well-made movie, and you could tell there was a lot of respect to it. And I've noticed Andy Muschietti is not someone who just goes out there to direct movies for the money. He actually gets projects or, you know, film ideas or books that he's personally a fan of and that he thinks he could give his own fresh take on. He doesn't just go out there and, you know, make whatever he wants. You know, Mama's an exception, but, like, he goes specifically for things he's a fan of. Like, right now, I'm pretty sure he's also in the talks to do a Howling remake, and he said that he feels like he loves The Howling. He said it's one of his favorite werewolf films of all time. Long story short, my point is that he goes after things he's a fan of, so I'm assuming Andy Muschietti is a fan of Attack on Titan. And I was thinking today, and I was like, you know what? It would be perfect. He would be a perfect director for a first Attack on Titan movie, because he doesn't, not only does Attack on Titan have that kind of coming-of-age story with these three kids growing up in a world full of monsters, but also the Titans themselves are very kind of Pennywise-like. I've just thought about that. Like, the faces they make, the craziness, the giant smiles, the way Pennywise runs at his victims. Like, there is so fucking much similarities between a Titan and Pennywise from that new movie. I'm like, you know what? He could have a lot of fun, craziness with these Titans. They could be really scary, because the Titans from the show, the cartoon, or the anime, my apologies, the anime are very terrifying. They're very unsettling. The way they run, though it can be funny, it's still like, I wouldn't want that thing running at me like that. Like, that would be really freaky. And Pennywise from the new 2017 movie and 2018 movie has a lot of those, like, moments with those, like, really weird faces, and the way he, like, devours people. Like, this is very, like, I'm like, damn, like, there's a lot of similarities between Pennywise and these Titans. And, you know, the way he just, not only does he feel like the perfect director to helm a project like Attack on Titan, where there is a lot of insanity, a lot of scary imagery with giant humanoid creatures devouring people, but he also knows how to handle characters very well. And I think Eren, just Mikasa, just all these characters, he could handle beautifully. And not only that, but I think, out of respect for the property and, you know, the whole race war thing going on right now between our country, he's probably going to cast, I'm just assuming he's going to cast an all Asian cast, which, that'd be perfect. 100%. It'd be perfect. I just feel like he would be someone to show the respect to the property, that what the property deserves, the respect it deserves, personally. And I think Andy Muschietti, it's like, damn, like, that's the more I sat here and thought about it, because I wasn't going to do this video, right? And I apologize for talking fast, but I wasn't going to do this video because I'm sitting here, but until I started thinking about why he would be perfect for the property. I keep saying property, but that's what it is. He just feels like the most respectable horror director to do it. And yes, Attack on Titan is a very horrific idea. The fact that there are these giant walls and creatures that stand probably 4 stories tall are even bigger than 4 stories. 5 stories, Colossal Titan's like a fucking, he's Godzilla sized, right? Maybe even bigger, but, these things that are in the show are a horrifying concept. They're really unsettling, and I'm just sitting here, and I just can't believe that it never really occurred to me that Andy Muschietti could handle such a scary concept and make it a very well put together adaptation. I do believe he is probably the best person to direct a first film for an Attack on Titan franchise. Now, the reason why I said only a first film is because Attack on Titan could be the next Star Wars franchise. Not saying it's anywhere close to being a Star Wars franchise. Any movie could. It's just depending on how you make it. But when I mean like that, I mean the first movie could be great, but then the second movie could be better. And I think if you keep a director on a property for so long, they start kind of overthinking it a little bit and wanting to do what they want to do, their own thing, what they want to do. And not always that's bad. That's not always bad. But I think to give a new director a different take on the sequel would probably be the best route to go with a franchise like Attack on Titan, for me personally, I think. And the reason why I say this is because with It Chapter 1, he made a beautiful horror movie with beautiful characters, a great villain. He did a great job with It Chapter 1. But when he said he did not want anybody to touch It Chapter 2 because he had his own vision for it, the movie was good to me. I like the movie a lot, actually, but it does not hold up. And the reason why it doesn't hold up is because he started to do too many silly things with the sequel. Instead of just doing what he should have done was just go with the same tone as the first movie. But the It Chapter 2 movie itself was almost a completely different tone. It was completely different characters. I mean, there's just a big difference between the two, and I think he really overthought it too much, and that's why the It Chapter 2 movie kind of fell flat for a lot of people. So, I mean, if you love It Chapter 2, that's great, phenomenal, but you can't deny that film editing, filmmaking-wise, it just was not as well put together as that first movie. And the first movie was phenomenal, but the second one was just a decent movie overall. And, I mean, when you sit back and think about it, Pennywise at the end of It Chapter 2 was kind of like a Titan, right? He was giant. There's been Spider Titans before where he was, like, huge, giant, walking around making silly faces at everybody. Like, yeah, he could pull it off, I think. But back to my main specific point for Andy Muschietti being the perfect director to helm an Attack on Titan movie is because the man, first most, is just a contributor to the project. He does not want to do anything that would piss off the fans entirely. I know that you can just tell by the way this guy talks, the way he acts, the way he directs his movies. You can just tell there's heart behind it. He didn't just want to make a movie to make money. He just wanted to make a project, a movie to satisfy everybody. And you know what? Regardless of what you think of It Chapter 2, you could tell there was effort put behind it, and I think that's what really counts. And I think if you're going to get a director to begin an Attack on Titan franchise, you got to get someone who cares, and Andy Muschietti, to me, is a fanboy. He's not going to want to piss off the fans, so you know for a fact he's just going to get it right. But enough about what I think. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Who would you get to direct a first film in an Attack on Titan franchise? For me, I could see Andy Muschietti. He would probably be my top 3. I could probably think of 2 others that would probably be just as good. But guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Of course, like the video. Subscribe if you have not so you don't miss another video. And hit that notification bell so you actually get notified when we make another video. Yeah. So guys, thanks you for watching. I really appreciate it. But yeah, this was a fun subject to talk about, right? Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next video. And please do take care.